Alright everyone, so if you do not know, the website pluginboutique.com every single month will give you a free plugin for a plugin that you buy. And pluginboutique.com is really where I get all of my plugins. So my name is Simulation Beats, and these are the free plugins that I got from pluginboutique.com for the month of March. Alright, so the first thing I would like to say before we get started is that it is currently raining outside, and it's been raining the entire day, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, so if you guys can hear it, I apologize, but hopefully it doesn't pick it up too much. And I wanted to go for like a Denzel Curry type beat, because he's like my favorite artist I've been listening to right now, but the way that this developed, it's not really a Denzel Curry beat at all. But I mean, hey, I tried, okay? So basically what I'm going to be doing now is going to the mixing stage. I already did a lot of the EQing and the reverb and stuff like that, but now we're going to go in and use the plugins that I got from pluginboutique.com. So here's the end of the intro going into the first hook, and I'll let it play out just so you guys can hear what it sounds like before we get started. Now the deal that Plugin Boutique is running for the month of March is actually going to be 3 free plugins, not just 1. Okay, so the plugin that I bought to get this deal was going to be Isotope Ozone 9. And there were a lot of other plugins that I was looking at as far as reverb, maybe some delay, or just any sort of cool little effect, but if I'm being honest, I use Ozone 8 elements a lot in every single beat that I made actually. So I figured put some money in and get the actual latest full version. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is put on a little bit of the Ozone 9, just for a little bit of mastering, just for now. I'm going to take it off a little bit later on, but I want to be able to hear everything that I'm doing correctly at around 0 dB, so I'm going to put that on first. I'm going to put on Master Assist, Modern, High for the EQ, and keep it on streaming. Alright, that sounds pretty good. Alright, so I actually have 3 layers here. It's going to be the keys, which has those chords, and then a lower pitched synth, and then a higher pitched synth. That's one thing I've been doing lately. Instead of adding a whole bunch of melodies, I'll actually should include a little bit more layers, just enough to where it's going to be in different frequencies. You want one that's in like a high range, a mid, and then maybe even the low one. It just makes it sound a little bit more full without it being too crowded. And it sounds something like this. And if you're hearing that little off sync in between what it looks like and what's actually coming out with the sound, unfortunately Ozone 9 does have quite a bit of a delay. Now the Ozone 8 elements that I was using in the past did have a delay as well, but this one feels maybe a little bit worse. I mean, I know that it's the paid version and they've done a lot of improvements to it for the Ozone 9, and it's supposed to take up less CPU, but I feel like this delay is actually quite a bit worse for some reason, but I did have a lot of other plugins going, so maybe that was the case, I don't know. So what I'm thinking for this lower synth right here, I want it to be a lot more wide and spacious to give room for those keys. So I'm going to be putting on the very first free plugin that I got from pluginboutique.com, and it's called MSW2 by SoundSpot. So here's what it sounds like normally, and then the more that I move these, the more that's going to be, you can tell the difference in the sound. But I want to be able to blend with the keys, so I'm going to turn on the keys as well. That sounds pretty good. Alright, yeah, so this plugin is actually one that I had my eye on for a little while now, so it just so happened to be lucky that it was actually part of the pluginboutique.com deal. One thing I think is very underrated is actually really messing with what is stereo and what is mono. And yes, you can use a little slider to make it go mono or stereo, but I feel like you can really have more options with a plugin like this. Okay, and the next thing that I want to do is actually the second plugin that I got here from pluginboutique.com. And if I'm being honest, it's the one that I'm least familiar with so far. I haven't really been using it that much. But it looks like it just has a whole bunch of like effects you can put on there, like an LFO, delay, chorus, phalange, and filter. So we're just gonna go and try it out and see what happens. Luckily they do have some presets over here. If you hit load, it's already inside of there once you download the program. And then I think it's gonna be around Plux that I wanna try and go for. That is really good. That goes along with our theme actually. Like it's kind of like a dark track, right, with those chords, so this might actually work. As soon as I heard the very first preset to this plugin, I was immediately in love. Like, I didn't really do too much research on this plugin in particular, and I didn't really use it all that much. So I had to rely on the presets a little bit, but this one was just so good for me not to use. And we're going for like a really like dark type beat. Like I said, I was trying to go for more of like a Denzel Curry type beat, so this kind of goes with like the more like darker feel like his beats usually have. I think it did mess up our volumes though, so I'm gonna go and fix them right now. Okay, now the final plugin that I got for free from Plugin Boutique is going to be this one right here called Percolate. I'm gonna be using it on my snare, okay? Because one thing that I really feel is gonna be really good for this track is going to be a really hard hitting snare, really punchy. Now this plugin is basically just focused towards drum mixing, not necessarily on the whole bus, but on its individual items itself. So if you feel like a snare or a hi-hat, some perks are not really going all that well, it's not really hitting how you want it to, adding this plugin would really help. So if I go and unsolo these, and then here they have like plus 4 dB, plus 8, and plus 12, and then this is going to be like where the filter is going to be taking more of effect in the realm of 200 Hertz, 550, or 1,000. And then if you press this button right here, it's actually gonna go to -4, -8, and -12, but I actually want that to be around right there. Go over to their presets and find a snare. There should be one over here. There it is. There's a couple right here. I'm actually pretty punchy. Alright, I'm gonna leave it right there. Actually, I do like this this preset of snare 3. Okay, and the final thing that I'm going to do here is actually delete the Ozone 9 that I had, and then reapply it. If I end up doing mastering a little bit too early and I do some actually changes in the mixing, sometimes doing the master assist again will kind of just mess it up. It just won't sound exactly how it should. And also if you add some more effects like we did here on the track, then you actually want to have those references in mind when it does the master assist again. And honestly, it's not that hard. All you really gotta do is delete it and then pull it back and then do it again. So it's worth the little extra effort that you're gonna be putting in there. Same settings as before. No. No. Why did FL Studio stop working? I think that I have a backup file. You know, like FL Studio backs up all your stuff, so I think I'll be okay. Yeah, it actually left up like right when I stopped. Okay, cool. This is strange. This has never happened to me before. Okay, so I don't know if I left in the first time that it's happened or not, but this is the second time in a row that I've tried to use the Master Assist with Ozone 9, and it has crashed my FL Studio. In all of my experience using the Ozone 8 elements and other iZotope products, it's never really had it crash this many times before this consistently. But I was using a lot of other plugins, so maybe that was really what was taking effect. I'm not really too sure. And I still have a lot of faith in this plugin. If you guys want to go check it out, I think it's really, really good. It is a little bit on the pricey side though of $150, and iZotope still has my stamp of approval. Okay, so if this happens one more time and it crashes, I'm just gonna have to go and end this video here, so hopefully it works. But it's the end of the video anyway. I just kind of want to show you guys like just what Ozone 9 can really do, because it can really clear up your guys' mix if you get too much low end or if you don't have enough high end. It'll help you out with all of that, and then you can really go in there. It's a whole mastering suite. So you really have a whole lot of creative freedom in there to do what you want to do. In fact, I'm actually, hopefully if it works, I'll actually dive in a little bit more in the settings, because I actually know a lot about Ozone. So I'm gonna try and go in there and do that. All right, fingers crossed. We're good. We got it. We're all good to go. All right, so the very first thing that I want to do is go over to the maximizer right here, and then actually lower the threshold till I actually get a little bit more distortion than it has already. I think that should be a good range. And you have different modes over here for the maximizer as well. The IRCLL, it'll tell you a description right here. It says, intelligent release control, smooth and thick limiting. Nice. For a rich sound with low latency. So I think it's just a little bit more for like the, if your computer's not strong enough to really run the full program, like mine almost wasn't, then you can use this one. And the one that I'm actually on right now is spectral sharpening for reducing pumping and distortion. Now usually I do like to use intelligent release control 3, which is a surgical limiting tailored to your audio. It basically listens to it and thinks of what would be the best for your particular track. But I'm gonna go and trust what it says here with the IRC4. And then you could also learn threshold, which will actually change this number right here, but I don't want to because I put this one in manually. So one thing that makes the paid version of Ozone 9 better than the Elements version is that over here, if you look, it already has an equalizer. It took out a lot of my low end and boosted my high end quite a bit. But then if you go over here to the Dynamics EQ, it's a whole other one. And you can see that once everything starts peaking like this, it'll start actually lowering it. Which, if I'm not mistaken, was not available in Ozone 8 Elements, which is what I was using. And then also you could add up to, I believe, 6 of these little patterns, if not more. But I think I'm just going to go with these. I can show you the other ones, though. You can have another equalizer. I'm not really too sure why you would want to do that. An exciter, which is basically just a little bit more distortion. An imager, we're going to try and add that one on. And then here you can go and hit this button right here, and then you can mess with how stereoized it is. So here it's at 6 seconds. I meant to say 6 milliseconds there, not 6 seconds. I just kind of messed up. So here the bandwidth is actually at 0, but the more that I increase this, the more it's going to be stereoized over here or mono over here. Can't guarantee I'm gonna leave the track in this state with the how much more stereo I put on it, but it sounds pretty good right now, so I might leave it. We'll see. All right, and now the rain is starting to come down pretty heavy, so I think I'm actually gonna leave this video here just so I don't annoy you guys with all the raindrops going on. If you guys can even hear it, hopefully you guys can hear the editing, but if you can, I apologize. Nothing really I can do about it. Okay, so I know that I am putting up this video a little bit late. It's about the middle of March right now when I'm recording this. Hopefully I can get it out soon. I actually do work at a grocery store. In fact, I'm actually wearing the hat that I work at right now. Is this a more dramatic look? Should I always be doing this? Like, you guys can't even see my eyes? I'm just that incognito? I don't think so. I'm gonna turn it back. Anyway, people are trying to be doomsday preppers as far as the whole like coronavirus outbreak is going on. So people want to stock up on everything, making my job very difficult to do and a lot more busy. And I'm getting called in a lot more, so I'm getting a lot more hours. So hopefully I can put this out in time for you guys to actually be able to go and check out the plugins. If you do have the chance to go check it out for the month of March, I really think you guys should. 3 free plugins. What's really the harm? And you can go get something worth like $2. You know, they've got really cheap plugins over there too. But thank you guys very much for watching. My name is Simulation. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, if you guys haven't really noticed, I know you guys aren't really looking at the side of my face, but I got a nose piercing. Can you see it right there? Right there. It hurt a lot. Like, more than my piercings, actually. Like, if anyone tells you that tattoos or piercings don't hurt, they're lying to you. They are painful. The only thing is they're very tolerable. You can definitely just sit there and have it done. But the nose piercing was more painful than a tattoo, but it lasted around 15 seconds, so it was nowhere near, like, as painful as a tattoo, I think. So one thing I've always kind of, like, realized, too, is, like, we're just kind of sitting here through life, right? Alright, we're gonna get a little deep right now. I've spent over $1,000, okay? Not all at once, but in total, with between ink and piercings, that I'm paying someone to permanently scar my body. But I love my tattoos, but it's just kind of weird to think how we're paying so much money just to have someone really just fuck us up. Yo, it is raining so hard outside right now. I'm in California. I don't like it. I feel like I go like cross-eyed sometimes because I feel like I'm trying to look over here and also look at myself, monitoring myself, so hopefully you guys don't see me going cross-eyed or anything. Whoa, why did my lighting change so much? Was it always like this? Was my lighting this bright? I feel like it wasn't. Alright, we're just gonna pretend like we know what happened.